You know, 73 laps, I reckon this is probably the toughest racetrack that we race on all year. There's no question about that. So dealing with that physically, it's tough. Temperature of the car is going to be well over 60 degrees, and all we do is hope that our cool suits don't fail.
What about air conditioning? Have you?
What air conditioning?
See?
What are you talking about?
I said, why don't you have air conditioning?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's a very difficult environment to try and get something like that to work. Obviously, with the fact we don't have any insulation in these cars, the temperature inside them growing to what they is, and what it does get to in these kinds of situations, you'd actually struggle to ever get anything to be able to work efficiently to be able to cool the cabin temperature enough to make it worthwhile. So it's just something that you could, you know, it's totally inefficient in this kind of environment.
Could you turn the car on about 2 hours before you get in?
Yeah. I like your thinking. I really do. I really do.
You've maintained a constant presence in this sport for so many years. What keeps pulling you back to it?
Oh, listen, you know, it's one of those things. There's a lot of things. You've got to work pretty hard at it. You know, it's not something that just happens at the end of every year. You get another deal, and you know, you've got to put in the effort from all forms. It doesn't matter what sport you do, you're involved in what professional sport. You've got to provide something back for those that are willing to put you in a car and pay you to do a job. So. You know, there's plenty of it. We've got you know, obviously a lot of sponsors. The only way we can go racing is to have someone who's willing to tip in the dough and allow us to go and have some fun, hopefully, and put on the entertainment for the fans. So, you know, there's a big part to play by the drivers these days to ensure that they're valued enough to get a gig.
What about the rush? Yeah, every time you go around, you just must get the most awesome rush.
It's one of those things you get used to, you know. It's just like anything that you do a lot of, you do get used to it, and you take it a little bit for granted. But places like Bathurst, there's no question, you still go up there, and I think it's because of the whole aura of the place and just the history of it all makes it that bit more special. And so every time you get a chance to drive a lap around Bathurst, which is only once a year really, and especially in a V8 Supercar, you know, that's where you get that rush again. And coming down Conrod Straight, doing that speed, and having the opportunity to drive around there, you know, you get more of a rush at something like that than you do at a lot of the other race meetings that we have.
Mate, what do you intend doing when it's all over? Will you stay involved in the sport or something? I mean, I'm not saying you're getting old, but
you are. That's what you're saying.
He's so rude.
That's exactly what you're saying.
He's rude.
He is.
He's so rude.
But he's telling the truth, and I respect that.
what have you got? You stay in the sport, or what do you think you do?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of other things that I've always wanted to do that you can't do because of your schedule and your calendar and all those kinds of stuff. And we'll play it by ear. You know, I've been involved in the sport for a long time. It's generated a career for me. So you know, I love it. I love motorsport. I love what it's all about, and many parts of it. Of course, like anything, there's a lot of things that drive you mad as well. You know. A lot of politics involved in professional sport, as you guys know. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. There's always going to be things that you don't agree with, all that kind of stuff. But essentially, you know, I've had a great run and you know, had some success and enjoyed every bit of it, and met some amazing people and met some dickheads as well, you know. But
George, you've met a few.
and I've met a few more today. Yeah.
Greg, can I ask you a question? Because as a sportsman, I want to know. That's what you're here for. Yeah, I want to know what scares you. I don't think it's an outside. No,
former champion jockeys
driving at his speed in a.
No, that doesn't. That's not the issue. I mean, if you're going to be you know, scared about driving around a place like this, or if you've got any sort of feeling that about maybe getting hurt or anything like that, then you're never going to perform well. I think most racing car drivers are pretty selfish sort of people, and as I think most sports people are in a lot of ways. And you know, we just want to achieve. We want to be as fast as we possibly can. We don't like getting beaten, and you know, doing what we do, I feel very safe in our environment. I think our cars are incredibly safe. They're built to some pretty amazing standards, and I'd rather have a shunt in one of these things at just about any speed than I would in any road car at 50 k's an hour.
And you don't like getting your feet burnt either. Now, how hot are those pedals out there this afternoon?
Well, we actually were talking to the guys yesterday afternoon after practice, and I was saying we've got to get some more air down into the footwell, down into that area. I mean, the engine's right up against the firewall. I mean, the heat's coming